What can you tell us about wage negotiations are?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Randy. The Guyana Teachers Union, as you know, would have engaged in a prolonged two-phase strike action, all with the intention of having government come to the table to negotiate the teachers' package. Um, the union recognized that the interests of teachers and the Guyanese children are paramount to this whole process. And so we have agreed um, we agreed to redo our multi-year proposal for the period that government kept insisting that they wanted us to look at, and our members would have been in the forefront to treat with that. So having done so, we submitted, and the Ministry of Education and the Guyanese Teachers Union had the first round of talks, um, and that was a bipartisan discussion where we looked at the proposal of the union and discussed several of the matters that were enlisted. Both parties agreed that in the interest of um, in the interest of both sides, that at the end of each session we issue joint statements which would actually indicate, not in much detail, but generally giving the public an understanding that the discussions have gone well or they have not gone well. Coming out of the first round of discussions, we were able to look at several items on the new proposal that was submitted. And for the most part, the Ministry of Education would have agreed with the union on several of those proposals that were put forward. Um, though these were not the percentage increase matters, they dealt with a lot of areas that would cause teachers to receive added remuneration. And that is as far as we were able to go on the 25th, which is Thursday. In a few days' time, we're going to be meeting for the second occasion, and hopefully be able to make as equally significant progress as we have made in the first phase. And it is our hope that we will have an ink agreement before the resumption of school. The union recognized that our teachers in scale one, that is the TS scale 1 to 3, were significantly affected with small salaries. And here's where we have the bulk of the teaching population over around TS1 to TS3. And that includes the assistant masters and mistresses, the TQMs, the TUMs, the ATs, the pupil teacher, the teacher aide. A significant number of the teaching population in the public school falls into those categories. And so we thought that to bump those teachers up, a proposal of, I think it's, if I can remember clearly, it's about 39.5% we proposed for that category in 2024, and subsequently 30% on the subsequent years, 2025, 2026. And then we had a TS4 to TS19. We did propose, I think it's about 30% for those categories. But it is what it is, Randy, a proposal where the union put forward what we think would have been or would be a feasible increase for the members in those categories. Those areas are yet to be discussed, and so I can't pronounce on what is agreed or what will be agreed on. But the union remains hopeful that the next bout of talks would be as fruitful as the one we had previously. Well, the main challenge in any negotiation, what we have, salary and non-salary matters. There are some non-salary matters that will actually put money in the teachers, more money for teachers. like added qualification and stuff like that. But the main issue in most of our negotiations has always been around the percentages that governments are prepared to pay and give as an increase per annum. I think that that would be the real issue going forward. And given the trend of given the trend of Guyanese government over the years, it's left to be seen how this government will approach having had more resources to treat with the proposed salary increases that we have put forward. So, yes, coming out of the previous discussions, the last one, um, those went well, and I must say that much of what we put forward, the government side agreed on. But like I said, the main issue has always been the percentages, and I think we'll have to give time to allow that to happen, and then we can, make a pronouncement on it. But um, the percentage issue always stand out as a challenge. I know there's a lot of anxiety, having sacrificed so much time during the strike and the standoff between the two parties. I just want to say to our teachers to remain calm. The union's executive and the negotiation team are prudent, confident, and we understand the plight of teachers because everyone on the team forms part of the active cohort of teachers who interface with the marketplace, interface with societal challenges, and all of those things. And so we understand the plight of the educators in Guyana. I want to say that we are going to do our level best, as we've always done, to represent you. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of persons who are of the opinion that, they're not hearing anything, but you have to understand that when you enter the negotiation room, there is a level of trust that is required on both sides. And we have agreed with the ministry that we will just put out the joint statements. I have not seen any statement being made by the Ministry of Education, and therefore the union has got to keep its end of the bargain. And I just want to appeal to the educators in Guyana to remain calm and allow your trusted leadership to negotiate a fair and for you in the long run.